Hello, artists! Welcome to Teacher Time today with Mrs. Panza. I'm going to show you how to use a texture plate, black paper, and construction paper crayon to create a piece of artwork that looks something like this. Okay, so for today, like I mentioned, you need your black paper, a texture plate. Our texture plates might look different depending on what you have. Okay, they all work the same way. And you'll need one of your construction paper crayons. This is one of my construction paper crayons. I just happened to peel the paper away and off of the crayon to show you one way that the crayon can be used when using your texture plate and black paper. You'll also notice I have a piece of paper down on my desktop just to catch any markings that happen to go off of the paper. So in order to use the texture plate, I want to take my texture plate and put that down first. And then I'm going to take my black paper and place it on top of that. Okay. I'm going to use my hand that's not holding my crayon to hold my texture plate and my paper nice and still. I'm then going to use the other hand that has my crayon in it, and I'm going to drag it across the paper. As I do that, you'll see that the texture or picture that's on the texture plate should transfer onto your black paper. You'll notice, though, there's no texture over here or down here. That's because my texture plate is only this big. So I will need to rotate or turn my paper and repeat or keep doing it over and over until my whole paper is filled with the design or texture that's on the texture plate. You'll notice as I do this that some of my lines might overlap or go on top of one another. That is perfectly fine. It sometimes can actually make the artwork look more interesting. So after you have your entire paper covered, it should look something like that. Really with only a couple black spaces peeking through in between where your texture would be, or maybe a corner here or there. There is another way that you can use the crayon when you're using a texture plate. This first way that I showed you I think is the easiest way and gives you the nicest results, but I'll also show you the other way too. Okay? So the other way, you're going to use your texture plate and paper the same way. Again, with one hand holding it nice and still. But instead of dragging my crayon across the paper, I would hold it like I normally hold my crayons and color across. As I do that, you can hear the crayon moving over the texture plate, and then you'll see it appear, so you'll know it's working. But you might notice that this way takes a lot longer to cover up my paper, and it can make your arm and hand tire a little faster. So like I had mentioned before, I prefer just dragging the crayon across. I think that works a little better, gives you some nicer results. Okay, so I hope you enjoy working with your texture plate, your crayon, construction paper crayon, and your black paper. Enjoy working with your texture plates, and I'll see you next time.